Welcome to New Haven Promise Zone planning. So I want to thank all of you for joining us today. And my name is Okafor, and I'm the City Community Services Administrator. The mayor is caught in another meeting, so we've been waiting for her, but I think for the interest of time, we will continue. And she will be able to join us, and when she joins us, she will bring her greetings. So I just want to welcome everyone as we begin our post-promise zone submission. So this, for some of you that just joined us today, I want you to know that you're in good hands, that while we started, we had like 3.5 weeks of intensive planning process that led to our submission of the Promise Zone application. But to bring everybody on the same page, the mayor made it clear to us that the Promise Zone application, which we submitted, is only an input. And what does she mean by that? She meant that that is not a product. That after we have submitted this application, that we need to bring everyone back together and use the information in this application to begin to develop what she called the City Transformation Plan. The City Transformation Plan is really the product that she is looking after, because for her, whether we got designated or not, we have what it takes in the city for us to really achieve the goals that we identified in the Promise Zone application. So today actually begins the main work. What we did before was simply to write together an application which gave us base information that will enable us to develop a plan. So you are coming in at the right time. I just wanted people that haven't been part of the application submission, that actually you may be pleased that you're coming in at this time, because that application process was very intense and very successful. For those that actually worked on that application submission, we are very indebted to all of you, because we knew what it took from your time and the work you put together for us to have a solid application we can use as a base to then begin to develop our city transformation plan. So with this, I will begin by giving an overview, because I think it's important for all of us to have an overview of what we've done. Could you hear me from the back? Am I projecting okay? Okay. So what we are trying to do, what we've done so far is, there are 3 things that the mayor actually did in our campaign on that helped her to really focus on what impact she want to make in the city. And those 3 things are, she want to focus on safety, that we create a safe city, and that we enable everyone in the city to attain the optimal educational goals that they will. And she wanted everybody to have jobs that will actually earn living wages, so that they will be able to thrive and succeed in the city. And she felt when she was doing the campaign that if we do these 3 basic things and achieve this goal, that we will be able to create a healthy neighborhood, healthy environment, a place where people are not only healthy, but they are well, which means that they can actually run their family, run their business, and be able to thrive, so that we can make our city a vibrant place that people will choose to come and live and age well in that location. So as we move forward with this plan, so what we did with the Promise Zone was really to look at where do we have our highest need location or zip code. So if you look at this map, it shows you where we designated that have more than 36% of poverty rate in the city. So these are the areas that we actually earmarked as our Promise Zone. It is very critical for you to look at it, but in our planning, the main work that we're beginning to do, the goal is to really reach all the geographic location in the city. So it's not limited to what we actually put together in the application. Then we wanted to show you the context, the regional context. So if you look at the New Haven region, the reason is that when you even identify the locations that we earmarked and we designated as the location we will impact in the application, it is still the location that has the highest poverty rate in the region. So whatever happens to the region in terms of economic development, wellness, vibrancy, will be that those designated area will impact the economic well-being of the region. And so it is important for us to look at it either way, at the city focal level or at the regional focal level, that those designated areas are equally most impacted area. So the promise zone, there are 6 goals that we actually submitted that we will focus in doing specific work. And we have goals, we have sub-goals, and we identify strategies that will enable us to achieve those goals. Those 6 areas are to create jobs, job creations. How do we create jobs? And not just entry-level jobs, but livable wage jobs. And how do we increase economic activities? And we'll discuss about the developmental activities going on. And how do we improve educational opportunity and create a safe place by reducing violent crime in our city, as well as build a culture where there is our environment that people have healthy, stable, and socially connected. That's what we mean by civic cohesion, is that the neighbor knows each other and you don't feel alone in what you're doing in terms of responding to stress or addressing issues in the neighborhood or your community. And then we will not be able to do this without people having stable housing, affordable housing, and healthy environment that is also accessible in every way. So this you have I don't know if you have this. If you don't have it, I know we have it online. Okay.
In the goal sheet that you have that was distributed.
So this actually gives you a picture, a graphic representation of the entire goals that we put together and submitted in this grant. So it gives you a picture. The reason why we did this way is, regardless, Promise Zone is looking at job creation because, without people earning money to pay their rent, to get food, it is hard to talk about other things. But we took this approach that is comprehensive and system because we know that when you have jobs, if people don't have the skills they need and they are not educated and prepared, it's hard for them to get the jobs. And then if people are unhealthy, they are sick, they will not be able to keep their job or get the job and stay. And then if people do not have a place to live, it is hard for them to keep gainfully employed. And then we thought about also not only that, but if people are afraid to leave their house in the evening because of safety issues, security issues, it's hard for them to actually work. So either way we look at it, we have to look at those social determinants, those factors that will make people to be healthy, and we also have to look at how do we create our neighborhood to be a cohesive neighborhood, which means people that care enough for each other, and how do we make sure that we address the housing needs in the city, and how do we make sure that there is access to healthy food, that there is also access to health care, and most importantly, when we've gathered, we address the base, that people actually have jobs, that they are prepared, they can get employed and work successfully in order to thrive in the city. So in order for us to move forward, what happened within this planning season is that we were able to engage a lot of people. And as you can see from the author of Collective Impact, because we are using this collective impact as our approach, whereby everybody in this room and many people, I understood we have at least about 150 non-for-profit organizations in this city. A city that has about 129,000. So when you look at people, so when you're looking at this, you ask yourself the question that if every organization is doing the work that they are doing, and looking at all the people that reside in the city and wrapping around services they need, we will be able to create that promise. People will be able to accomplish all the things that we've identified. And like the author of the Collective Impact explained, it's not only how to engage people, but how we work together. And that is what I was trying to explain, because take an instance, if Martha, myself, that I just came out of the prison, I'll use this quickly as a story. So if I just came out of the prison and I do not have a job and I do not have a place to go, one thing is that I will likely meet with the people sitting here for jobs, and then I will likely also meet for the housing authority, put in application for housing. And if I have diabetes or chronic disease, I will likely be going to FQHC, for healthcare access. Or if I have also anxiety because I'm afraid I've been in the prison for 6 years, I may be meeting with community mental health, folks that are one of our key providers, and then think about I don't have food, I don't have skill set, I will probably connect with community action agencies. So either way you look at it, we are serving similar people, but the question is that because we are focusing on our work and what our grant requires us to do, our challenge is how do we then cross our path? Regardless of what your grant asks you to do, how do you work together knowing that if we coordinate effectively and work differently, that we can impact that person's outcome and state of well-being? And if I don't have any GED and I want to go to college, I will access education, folks. So this is really something that is interrelated, because a human being comes to us with complexity and not in a siloed way that our grant is framed. So this enables us to come together and figure out how do we work differently so that we can impact that human being effectively. What our mayor said at the first time is that we are going to go beyond this statement, which is how do we engage people and how we work together is as important as what we do to create change. And she said she want to go beyond change to transforming the city and lives of people in the city, because not all changes are transformative. And that is where we come in, is how do we intentionally plan what we are doing so that we don't just create changes, but we are transforming lives and we are seizing opportunity and enabling people to really be awakened to the potentials and opportunities they have. So in order for us to do that, the agenda we will handle today will be to look at those goals that we have done. But first of all, we'll begin to know how are we working together and what can we do differently. And we'll have two panels. The first panel that you will listen to will share with you what are we doing in the area of jobs. I know there are many excellent opportunity best practices in the city, and we are privileged to have our first panel members here that will share with you what are we doing in the city around job creation, and then talk about what lies as opportunity of what we can do differently. This panel will be followed by another panel that will talk about the essential determinants of economic success, which means, yes, in order for us to access what you will learn from this panel, how do we address health? How do we address coordination of other social services? How do we address education? And then we'll move from there to do what we call a cafe session. The cafe session will enable every one of you to have opportunity to share your input on the plan that we have submitted, the application we have submitted, because we are still going to develop the plan. And you will have the cafe host that will give you instruction on how to effectively participate. Then we have a last discussion on how do we move forward so that we can get all your input. Thank you.